Hello and welcome in my cooking channel Czech Cookbook, where I teach people how to make these delicious European recipes, mostly from Czech Republic. So today we'll be making fruit dumplings. It's another typical Czech dish and it's so good. And you know, when you have big dinners here in US, we would have small dinners and big lunches. So this is considered a lunch, which would be dinner here, because sometimes we have even sweet lunches, which is more fun and it's just how we like it. So you can fill them with any fruits you like. I'm using blueberries, but you can use strawberries, apricots are really good, and I recommend using fresh ones because that way when you cook it, it doesn't get too mushy. You can use any fruits you like, it's really up to you, but those are the most typical that we would fill it with. So let's start with the recipe. Here I have 1 cup of milk, 3 teaspoons of dry yeast, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and then we have 2 3/4 of a cup of Wonder flour, which this amount is a little more than 1 bottle, so you will need to buy 2 of these. Then we need 1 egg, pinch of salt, 1 tablespoon of butter, and this is for the dough. And here I have 2 cups of fresh blueberries, and I wash them and put them on a strainer because you need to make sure that they are dry, otherwise they will make your dough really wet and that's not the best. And then we will have some toppings. There are many kinds of toppings we would use, but I like it with the breadcrumbs. That's how we do it and it goes pretty well. So here I have 1.5 cup just plain breadcrumbs, then 1 cup of powdered sugar and 6 tablespoons of butter. So that's all the ingredients, and I know it's lots of them. So if you want a list of ingredients, you can go to my website, which is www.czechcookbook.com, or if you go in the description under the video, then you see the link that will take you straight to my blog post where it's all the list of ingredients. So let's start with this amazing dish. Our first step is to warm up this milk. I already put it in a bowl because it's easier to warm it up in there and then add all the ingredients. So let's put it in a microwave for about 1 minute. It has to be just warm, not too hot. So let's put 2 tablespoons of sugar. Let's stir it a little bit so the sugar has a chance to dissolve. Now we'll be adding 3 teaspoons of dry yeast. I like to mix it just a little bit. Let it sit for about 10 minutes. This way the yeast will have a chance to start already working. While we wait for our yeast mixture to be ready, we can already start putting ingredients inside of the bowl. So here I have 2 3/4 of a cup of Wonder flour. We'll put a pinch of salt, 1 egg, and here I have 1 tablespoon of butter, and we will need to melt it a little bit. After 15 seconds it's melted, so we can add it to the flour. Let's mix this. After 10 minutes, look at this yeast starting to work well with the warm milk and sugar. So let's add this to the flour mixture. Now we can mix it all together. You need to work with it a little bit with the wooden spoon, just so it all mixed in really well. The dough should not be really sticky, so it's not, which is perfect. If it would be a little sticky, you need to add more flour. So we all wanna put a little bit flour on the top. Cover this up with a towel and let it rise for 40 minutes. Now we can prepare our toppings. Here I have 1.5 cup of plain breadcrumbs. I don't put anything on a pan, just like that. And now you wanna roast these. Make sure you stir it a lot because it will start to get darker, and all we need is just making it a little more toastier. Our breadcrumbs are getting darker, which is perfect. It takes a while till the pan is really heat up and starts to toasting the breadcrumbs. And now we can turn it off. And the pan is still hot, don't forget about that. So keep stirring because it will keep toasting it. Put it away from the hot stove. And now we will mix 1 cup of powdered sugar into our breadcrumbs. Mix it really well. Our dough is ready, but before we start to make dumplings, get a big pot, put the hot water in and turn on the stove. Let's put 2 pinches of salt in there and let it cook till it starts to boil. And by the time we are done with the dumplings, hopefully this will be done as well and ready for our dumplings. I'll put the lid on it, so this way it's a little faster. Our dough is nicely risen, so that's great. And we'll first put a little bit of wonder on our board, and also here on the other board, because that's where I will be putting dumplings that are ready to be cooked. Now let's put the dough here. So this is our first one. Let's see if this is big enough. You try to stretch it out, but make sure you don't have any holes in there, because you don't want holes, otherwise it will be leaking. And now you can use about 10-12 blueberries, how many you can fit in there. And each dumpling needs some sugar, so I have here 1/2 tablespoon, and I'll put 1/2 tablespoon of sugar inside of each dumpling. Even if you have strawberries, it's just not sweet enough. And the dough doesn't have hardly any sugar, so it would not be sweet enough. So now you will try to close it off. Try to pinch it. Make sure everything is closed off. And now it's closed off, so I can just close it like that. And see, no blueberries are pointing through here. That's very important. This is closed off, and now you let it sit and wait for our water to be heat up. You can put it on a board if you like, or do it in your hand as you like. It's up to you. This time I cut a little bigger. Half a tablespoon of sugar. I know it looks a little like it looks like it's lots of sugar, but believe me, it won't be sweet enough if you don't do that. Now I try to pull the sides, close this thing. Looks like a great dumpling. They will get much bigger as soon as you put them in the water and cook them. So the dumplings are ready. I was able to make 15. By the time I was done making the last one, they already rose a little more, so that's great because you wanna let them rise a little more, and now we can cook them. The water is boiling, which is perfect. Remember, these dumplings will get much bigger, so don't put too many in there. Carefully put them in. I think I will do 7 since my pot is pretty big. And now you wanna cook it for 4 minutes on one side, and then after 4 minutes we will flip them. Let's put the lid on, but let it crack so the steam has a place to escape. Here is the 6 tablespoons of butter, so we will need to melt this, and we will use a little bit to brush our dumplings when they're ready, and the rest we will pour over the toppings. So let's warm this in a microwave for about 30 seconds. After 4 minutes, so wow, look at these, how beautiful they look. So now we can flip each one of them, and we will cook it for another 4 minutes. Our dumplings are done. They've been cooking for 8 minutes. So let's take it out, and you will wanna release the steam, so let's poke it with the toothpick a few times, but don't go all the way through because then the juices would leak. And here I have a little glass tray, so I'll put it inside. The first batch of dumplings are out of water, and let's just a little bit brush them with the melted butter so they don't stick to each other. I have a little lid, so I'll cover it up just to keep them a little warmer. So here I have dumplings on a plate. I just put 3, and the next step is to put the toppings. You just sprinkle it on it. Now this depends how everybody likes it, if you like more or less, more butter, less butter. This is good. Now we will pour a little butter. If you like more butter and you can like it buttery, you can do that too. It looks perfect. 3 teaspoons of yeast, 2 tablespoons sorry,